Hello there, my name is Valerie White-Williams, and today I'm talking about the Libra Ascendant or Libra Rising. So before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified of all of my uploads. So Libra Rising or Libras are basically the social people of the Zodiac. Now again, the sign on your ascendant is how you come across. You know, we have our sun sign, and that's the hero's journey. We have the moon sign, which is kind of reflective of where we are coming from the past. That's easy. But the rising sign is kind of how you come across. My teacher calls it the ethical foundation. It's kind of like, I think like a bottle, like a bottle of beer or bottle. It's like what's inside the bottle is your chart, but the bottle is kind of how you come across to people. So it's kind of your outer shell, how you focus your personality in the world and how you come across. So you could be very different from your sun sign, but it depends on where things are at in your chart. So basically Libras are Cardinal Air, and they take action to initiate relationships. They are the social bugs of the Zodiac. And so people that are Libra risings tend to be very friendly. They are not shy unless there's something that shows up in the first house that would maybe make them shy, like maybe Neptune or something like that, maybe Saturn. So, but basically the Libra rising takes action to initiate relationships, and that could be romantic relationships, business relationships, friends. They are just have a huge need to be social, and that's what they're supposed to do. Because when you make relationships, you create a bond, and then two people are better than one. And so we need these Libras to really bring us into each other, because it's all about relationships, and they are kings and queens of creating relationships with all kinds of people, not just friends and lovers, but any people that might even meet on the street. They say hi, hey, hi, because they're that friendly person. They are always initiating contact. And so that's what cardinal means, is taking action, and air is communication. So they love to communicate. Now, the other thing about Libras is they're really big on being fair. Everything has to be fair. Remember, Libra is the sign of the scales. And so the scales need to be balanced. And so they love to maybe debate, you know, even though they might be, you know, loving relationships, they like to kind of talk about things and toss things back and forth. So they want things to be, I'd say maybe ethical, something that's even, and they want to make sure that everybody is understood. So that's the really great thing about Libra, is that it's not only them talking, but they want to hear what you have to say. They want to have a relationship with you. And so they're really wonderful about, you know, we need to have those Libras because they're going to talk to people and bring people out, bring them in, because they're not shy. They'll say, hi, how are you? What's your name? Yeah, let's do something. Now, I thought I was a Libra. I'm on the cusp. I am 29 degrees Virgo, but I do, as a cusp person, have a bit of that also Libra friendliness, but I also have that finicky Virgo. So that's what the cusp is. But Libras tend to really take action and love to get to know new people. They love to people watch. They like to see how other people live. And again, with that give and take of that fairness, they are very happy to negotiate. Yeah, so they're not going to be stubborn. They're going to say, hey, that makes sense. Let's talk about it. And yeah, let's make this all work. Now, the thing is about any rising sign ascendant is that there could be some other things in that play. Now, especially with the sun sign, because the sun could show up in the 12th house, then that person may not be as social as typically Libras could be, because they're a little bit more, their sun is kind of hidden under that 12th house, which is kind of underwater. So it really depends on where that shift happens in that rising sign. Now, the other thing is that in that first house, there could be other things that are contrary. Like I said, Saturn. So if Saturn is in that first house, even your Libra rising, there might be a little bit of more awkwardness or shyness depending on the sign in there, where maybe it might be a little bit more difficult for them to, initiate being the friendly puppy dog, like, hey, let's be friends. And also, like say Mercury, you might really be interested in someone who's more your intellectual person. So they might be more intellectually driven. And say Mars is in the first house, they might take more action. So they want to have friends that are, boom, action oriented, and they have a little more energy than the Libras, because Libras are kind of cool usually. I mean, they're friendly, but they're chill, right? So different things could happen in that first house that changes things. So that just depends on whether you have placements in the first house or not. So then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the 7th house, because every chart wheel is different, so I can't generalize on all the placements. But generally speaking, when we look at the 7th house, it is the kind of people that they're attracted to. Now, what happens in that 7th house is it's people that you think they're different than you, but you're really attracting this energy. So if you're Libra rising, in the 7th house, you have an Aries on that 7th house. Now, like I said, I'm 29 degrees Virgo, so I always read Libra. Whenever I look at the rising signs, I always do Libra, because that's where my planet wheels show up. And likewise, Aries is on my 7th house. I mean, technically not on the cusp, but it's filled with Aries. And a lot of my friends, my partners, my lovers, my husband, people like that usually have some Aries placement for me. So I attract that Aries energy that takes action. Now, the irony is that even though my friends have that Aries action, it really brings us out. It brings us, they teach us how to take action. And I actually have Aries placements there too. So it's not just them, but what is on your 7th house pulls out from you. The people that you're attracting to pull those qualities out, because Aries is cardinal action. So Libras initiate to create relationships. Aries just like are gonna just do it. Just go for it, take it, go. And so, yeah, a lot of all my friends usually that are close to me have an Aries placement, which is interesting. Now, what I said, it's not always the sun sign. I think people overthink sun sign too much. Like, I don't agree with this sun sign. No, just say no to sun sign astrology, because that's dumbed down astrology, because it's easy, but it's dumbed down. You need to find your chart wheel and see these things. So that's how it works. So let me know, you Libra rising ascendant people, if this made sense to you. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And me as kind of a half-breed Libra, I think it does. All right, take care. And before I go, I want to make sure you know of my 2 free passion projects on Facebook. The first one is YouTube Success Strategies. That's where I'm coaching people on how to work with YouTube and be successful. And the other group is called Creative Soul Alignment, for people that are creative and also spiritual. Because you know what? We are all creative. We are creating our life with every decision we make. And we are on the planet right now to create a world that works for all of us. And the way we're gonna do that, we're gonna visualize it first, and then we will find a way to make it happen. So I hope you join me with that. All right, take care. Bye.